We fall, we break, we fail. But then we rise, we heal, we overcome. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's webinar. A very good morning to one and all present here. I'm Miss Reshma A.V., Lecturer, Department of Medical Surgical Nursing. Deem it a great honor and privilege to present today's session on behalf of management of Rajarajeshwari School and College of Nursing, Bengaluru, Karnataka, India. Since the outbreak of COVID-19, some in South have of COVID-19, some East and Southeast Asian countries have employed various public health policy and medical approaches to slow the spread of the virus within their borders. These measures have been reasonably effective in slowing the spread of the pandemic, but they have not taken root in many countries outside the region. This webinar featured experts from Asia to discuss and evaluate methods that have worked to combat the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to extend my heartiest welcome to respected resource persons, Mrs. Kripa Elizabeth Joy, RGN, RPN staff nurse, Mental Health National Forensic, Mental Health Service Ireland, and Mrs. Sureka Kiran Patil, RN, BSN, MSN Nurse Educator, Department of Nursing and Midwifery Education and Research, and our Honorable Principal, Dr. A. Jabarna Kiruba Mary, who is the chairperson of this one-day international webinar, and all departments of HODs, faculty members of various departments, and delegates from different states of India and worldwide. Today, we mark the one day international webinar 2021 Lived Experiences and Challenges of Healthcare Providers During COVID 19, an event organized by Rajarajeshwari School and College of Nursing, Bengaluru. We begin the program invoking God's blessing.
कुन्देन्दुतुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा शुक्लां ब्रह्मविचारसारपरमा आद्यां जगद्व्यापिनीम् वीणापुस्तकधारिणीम् अभयदाम् जाड्यान्धकारापहा हस्ते स्फाटिकमालिकां विदधतीम् पद्मासने संस्थिताम् वन्दे तां परमेश्वरीं भगवतीम् बुद्धिप्रदां शारदाम्
May the blessings of Saraswati bring light of wisdom, joy, and prosperity for everyone. The COVID 19 global pandemic presents major challenges for healthcare providers worldwide. The spread of coronavirus has indeed given rise to a pandemic of misinformation and disinformation affecting the fabric of societies already fractured by the unprecedented sanitary crisis and its dramatic economic, political, and social consequences. We know these are difficult times for everyone, especially those of you who are serving patients. We hope you will enjoy this webinar series presentation featuring mental health and emotional wellness experts showing how you can reduce personal stress during the COVID-19 outbreak as well as coping with other disasters. In this regard, we organized a webinar on topic lived experiences and challenges of healthcare providers during COVID-19. Under this following subtopic will discussed by our experts. Introduction and management protocol of patients with COVID-19, impact of COVID-19 on healthcare providers, psychological disturbances, risk of exposures, and personal experiences. Let us move on towards the main session. Now I would like to request Mrs. Kanchan M. Nayak from the Department of Pediatric Nursing HOD to moderate the first session. Over to you, ma'am.
Hello. Thank you, Reshma. A very warm and pleasant morning to one and all. It's my privilege to introduce one of the eminent personality as a resource person for Thank you, Reshma. A very warm and pleasant morning to one and all. It's my privilege to introduce one of the eminent personality as a resource person for this session, Mrs. Krupa Elizabeth Joy, RGN, RPN, Ireland. At present, she is working as a staff nurse mental health in National Forensic Mental Health Services, Ireland. She has completed her graduation from East West College of Nursing, Bangalore in the year 2009 and her master's in same college, same institute in 2013. She is certified with RGN, RPN with Nursing and Midwifery Board, Ireland and Telemedicine and Telenursing from Indian Institute of Telemedicine. She has organized various conferences and workshops, lead theme-oriented healthcare workshops at state and national levels, and also attended both national and international conferences. She has also done various research paper and poster presentations. In addition, she is also a guide and mentor for many students in conducting various research studies. So we are very grateful to you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation and marking your presence with us. I welcome you, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
Morning to each and every listeners from various parts of the world. Before moving on to the topic, let me take a little bit of my time to greet and thank the organizing committee and all the dignitaries of Rajarajeshwari College of Nursing for organizing this webinar. This is indeed the need of the hour because we are in this pandemic. During this pandemic, it is really a very interesting topic to discuss about. Before starting my discussion, let me ask you a question. Have you all seen a roller coaster? I want few hands to raise if you have seen a roller coaster, please. Have you seen a roller coaster? Okay. Yes, the roller coaster is elevated railway which we see in the amusement parks. Yes. So these roller coasters, they have sharp curves and they have steeps. What do? When you travel in them, you have a lot of anxiety, you have excitements. It comes as a package. So why did I ask you that question? Because right from December 31st of 2019, we are going through, or our life is going through, a roller coaster experience. And an uninvited guest entered our world who brought about a lot of changes in our lives. To quote a few examples, one is our wardrobe. How did it change our wardrobe? We have the masks which are ready to wear and which suits our costume. Yes, and it has changed the priority of our life. How has it changed our priority of our life? It's okay to forget your phones when you go out. It is okay to forget your wallets when you go out. But it is not okay even to step out of your house without a mask. Yes? Okay. So who is this uninvited guest? Yes, we all know it is none other than COVID-19. So let us see what is this COVID-19? Let me take a minute to share my screen. Through this webinar on life experiences and challenges of healthcare providers during COVID-19. Through this discussion, we will see what is virus, what is in the name COVID-19, what is the origin of COVID-19, or signs and symptoms of COVID-19, current situations across the world, challenges of healthcare workers, impact on mental health of frontline workers, impact on pre-existing mentally affected, and
Ma'am, please unmute yourself. Kripa, ma'am, please unmute yourself. Okay, ma'am.
so you did not hear me, right? You did not hear the first session, no?
No, ma'am, you start from this first. You start
you-
from the first slide, ma'am.
First slide, okay. So through this webinar, we will cover what is coronavirus, what is in the name COVID-19, the origin of COVID-19, the signs and symptoms of COVID-19, the current situation across the world, challenges faced by the healthcare workers, impact on mental health of frontline workers, impact on pre-existing mentally affected people, and my lived experience. So let us discuss what is coronavirus. Coronavirus, they are a group of viruses covered in little protein spikes. These protein spikes, what they do, they embed into the host cells, they fuse with them, and they replicate. So because these protein spikes, they look like crown, the name corona, the word corona, which is a Latin word, which means crown, was given to this virus. This was called Nova virus when it was first discovered in the province of Hubei. Why was it called Nova virus? Because hundreds of coronavirus was already known to human race, among which seven affected human beings. The seventh one is the coronavirus or the COVID-19, which was first reported on the 31st of December 2019 in the city of Wuhan. So what is COVID-19? CO stands for corona.
Which was sometimes a long journey to the duties, which takes an hours together, and also the end of shift work like we used to end up having a 14 hours of work, and also the 12 hours with off or without off, where and also the team which we're working always, it's a new formed team, we don't know each other, was one of the challenging situations, because everyone had a different skilled and experience. So this was where all were my stressful situations. Fundamentals, especially childcare, foods and schooling. Me being a mother, as I said, of I had an infant of 2.5 months old, where I had joined back from the maternity leave, and I was a feeding mother, staying away from the baby for more than 12 to 14 hours. It was very, very stressful, especially as I was a feeding mother. And also the schooling, everything went on an online platform. To support another child for the schooling was an additional challenge. Social isolation, especially I remember, like where I was staying in an apartment, which we were most of our health workers, but as it was an initial period, was a very stressful. So I remember some of my neighbors, they don't like to speak or be in the same pace with us. Sometimes even they hesitate to share the same lift, which was creating an additional stress towards us. So this was my individual stressors and uncertainties. System-wise, body of knowledge and growing changing directives. Initially, we don't have a specific protocols or a policies. Every day there was a change in the policies and protocols. I could remember by end of 2 months, we could have a different around 16 to 20 versions of those guidelines and policies which we need to follow. Every day there is a changing directives from every person's or the supervisor we are dealing with. So this was an additional stress to cope up. And we were lacking a best practices, where which we being at HMC, we are known for our best practices. But due to COVID, we were not following the best practices, and we witnessed having an increased case of pressure injuries, CLEPSY, VAP, these were witnessed. And transparency was really questionable, and supply over the safety. Initially, we were supplied very well PPE, but as there is a scarcity happened throughout the world, we also witnessed the same. And we were compromising in terms of the PPE use. Physical environment and the conditions. Kata being the hot weather, wearing a PPE for a 12-hour shift was really a challenging task to perform. Increased flow of patients. I used to remember in my one shift, we could receive more than 50 to 100 plus patients of admissions per day. At the same time, equal number of discharges. So like in a one quarantine, there was a ratios like 5 staffs or 4 staffs managing 500 patients was an increased flow was an challenging. Lockdown, yes, we could not use our social support due to the lockdown, and socialization was affected. Patient reaction and the helplessness. Initially, when there was a changing directives about unless the patient comes negative, we are not supposed to discharge. So we could witness a lot of stress with the patients being very guilty, showing a lot of angerness, shouting at us. These were the very, very difficult reactions. Also, at the same time, we have received the positive reactions from those patients. And also due to the lockdown, there were patients who lost their job and found to be helpless. We want to discharge them, but these patients, they don't want to get discharged because for them, there is nothing to eat and live. So there were some of the helpless patients also we experienced. Ethical obligations. Ethical obligations is one of the things where we could, because of the non-visitor policy, we were not able to support those patients in some of the conditions. These were my lot of uncertainties which I have experienced through the system wide. So there is one beautiful model about who could I do want to be during COVID-19. This model speaks about fear zone to enlightenment zone. Every persons of this COVID-19 can go through different zones. That especially in the fear zones, where everyone initially, when the virus emerged, we were grabbing the food thinking that this is our last day to eat, and we were eating too much, taking a lot of vitamins, and we are spreading our emotions, fears. We were much into the media, spreading all those messages what we were receiving. Especially in the learning days, we learned to control. We were, whenever we are sending a message, we used to think whether this information is reliable. We were able to identify our emotions in the learning phase. Whereas in the growth zone, being more empathetic, living in the present and the futures, and also we started showing the talents. Whereas enlightenment zone, where we adopting to the slower phase of a new normal. This was the what model speaks about. So by taking this model, I could resonate my journey of COVID-19. Initially, I could say that I was in a fear zone. Whatever you have seen my previous slide of uncertainties, where all those were my fears of my fear zones. But however, we are a professionals, so I have to move to the learning zones. I adopted a healthy living. I know how to control my emotions, and at the same time how I need to support my family at the profession and being a sense of well-being. And I moved to growth zone, where I used my education and quality skills in doing some of the improvement projects with this COVID patients, and also as an educator, or I could address some of the competencies and the education needs of our team, and we could develop them. And in enlightenment zone, I enjoyed the players slower pace. I started spending a quality time with my family. So I could say that I have been gone through every zone of this COVID-19. And sometimes it happens so that some particular persons, especially when the second wave hit, again we went back to the fear zone. This model, anytime we can go and forth, or sometimes some persons can get stuck in the fear zone, and those persons has a difficult to move into the other zones. So it's very important we keep moving on the different zones. Even though we come back, we have to work so that we can move to the different zones. So my second round of battle, it was at Feb 2021. I had come for a vacation to India for a short break. Within a week, I received a call to a duty. Again, it was joining flight and also for the fight. This time I could find professionally, it was a less challenging, because this time we had a definitive protocol, organized treatment plan, and we know what is the process and pathways to be followed. However, we have a triple need of highly skilled nurses. Most of the patients were admitting in the acute care or the critical care. So every day we could have like 50 to 60 admissions in the ICU. So every day there is a need of 50 to 60 nurses. At the same time, we could have a vaccination campaign going on, where we need a lot of nurses for the vaccination support. At the same time, so for the normal non-COVID works. So there was a huge need of the staff compared to the wave first. But this time we had a lot of frustrations with the hospital leaders, because again, we are the first to deploy. The hospital leaders were right, because they thought that we all already developed and skilled. So it's easy for us to modify model. But however, we showed our frustrations. There was this time we were a lot of out of the public eyes. We were putting the same hard work, but we did not receive much appreciation that we received from the public and from the organization that we received during our first wave. We started witnessing the patient experience, especially a lot of dying patients. Whoever end up in the ICUs were difficult to get recovered. Every day they were dying, and also the media, what we saw in what happening in the India, like lack of the oxygen support, death of the patients, all these were the additional stress. There was an ethical and moral injuries. Burnout and compassionate fatigue was there among the nurses. We started working with the presentism, especially because of the physical exhaustion, where our body is in the duty and our mind were somewhere else because of the fatigue. This has created a lot of errors, and also has a lot of absenteeism. We were not able to follow the standard nurse-patient ratios. I remember sometimes we used to have in ICU 1:2, 1:3 sometimes, and non-acute care 1:6 to 1:8, which was, and pediatric and neonatal nurses working for the adult patients. These were some of the challenges we faced during the second round of battle. So one of the to address the competency of the nurses. Return to practice program was adopted, which is there were many nurses in the Qatar who were with a nursing background but not working as a nurse. So we developed the programs to bring them back to the role of return to practice programs. At the new normal, we are using the modular educational approach to educate the nurses. So, Qatar, with all these challenges and what this response is, Qatar makes the one of the best response to the pandemic, ranking 50 among all those 195 countries. And Qatar has one of the largest vaccination center with 300 booths. At a time, we can vaccinate the 300 patients per day in a shift. We could vaccinate from 25,000 to 30,000 of population at a one day. So, what was the COVID-19 road to recovery? We too had a challenges. There were experience and there were needs. But adversing during COVID-19, I followed resilient identification, management, and working through the distress. I identified the sense of esteem and the self-confidence. There is an increased demand of the nursing, especially a lot of openings you can see for the nursing jobs, and also many are opting for the nursing career. So I think it's a great achievement. We are nurses focusing our careers. So what should be our future focus? We know that this was an unprecedented scenario, but we should prepare. We do prepare for natural calamities, man-made calamities, but how about the health disaster? What we have prepared? So there should be a proper resource allocations for every healthcare to be prepared and ready to mitigate those in the future pandemics. Preparedness in terms of staff well-being, there should be a proper cross training and upskilling.